Well, good evening, colleagues, and thank you very much for your attention as we come to the conclusion of this match. It is Group D, where Botswana are playing to a goalless draw against Comoros. Now, joining us in the first press conference is the head coach of Botswana, Coach. Perhaps maybe 90 minutes goalless draw. Is this a reflection of the game here today?
Thank you very much. Honestly speaking, I don't think it's a true reflection of the match, considering the number of opportunities we created. But I think we're a bit shy in front of the goal. We could have at least converted one. We created a lot of opportunities. I think if you look at the game, they only managed to create one opportunity where the goalkeeper had to save. But for the better part of the match, I think we're playing very offensive, getting into the right areas. But you know, a game of football will always be determined by the number of goals you score. It's just unfortunate that for today, I think luck was not on our side and we did not score goals. But honestly speaking, I'm happy with the performance and how the players have adapted to this level, because many of them are playing at this level for the first time. And obviously, there's so much pressure and the demands are so high. But I think they have done well. And I think maybe going into the next match, few opportunities we created today, we might get a chance of scoring one or two, but I think the most important thing is to focus in the next match. We have done our part for today.
You go into the next match where you play Zambia, who will be looking at this result and knowing that, you know, mathematically they're out. What does this do to the psychology of your team and your preparation for the next match?
You know, I've seen teams losing matches to teams who are about to be relegated. So the most important thing about the match is to say, as much as mathematically they don't have a chance, it's for us to prepare psychologically, prepare tactically, and try our level best to be ready for the match, because obviously the stakes are high, and for us to get the positive results, I believe that we shouldn't think of how many points they have and what would happen if we win the match. But what is important is for us to say, can we be focused? Can we try our level best to get the positive results? And I believe that so far we have at least a few things to work on, which I think they can give us something.
Leading to this tournament, you have been quoted saying this is part of the preparation for the African Cup of Nations. Perhaps maybe give us insight in terms of what you've seen from the players. And amongst those that you've seen, are there any that are raising their hand for the African Cup of Nations?
Yeah, many of them, honestly speaking, they are raising their hands. And I think as much as we want to win, but we should understand that the most important thing with the phase where we are now is to give many of them the international experience. And by so doing, we are giving ourselves an opportunity to prepare well for Africa Cup of Nations. The demands are high in the Africa Cup of Nations. The demands are high here. So this is a very, very good tournament for us to say, can we try and introduce as many as we can, so that at least we have options if we have any challenge with the senior Zebras team. Because if you can check here, we only brought 2 players who are playing regularly with the Zebras. Many of them are new players, and many of them are making caps for the first time, which is a good thing for us. Without the experience of international football, I think they did well today, and we still need also to give them credit for trying their level best to adapt to the demands of this match.
All right, Coach, I'm going to open it up to the floor for my colleagues in the media to also give you a few questions. If there are any, please do show and give your questions. Yes, there's one there, and we go to that.
From COSAFA TV. Coach, obviously you would have loved to get 3 points, but the point is still worth it. But just some positives from this game, especially as you said, it's the first time for some of the Botswana players to feature in such competition.
To be honest, I think it was important for us to introduce them at this stage, but at the same time, I think if we didn't test them, we didn't know what they can do. So I think so far one has to make a proper analysis about the match. It simply says we have a good team, we have good players, and we have a potential of growing them and becoming better. I think some of them were maybe getting an intensive training for the first time, And obviously, those are smaller things that contribute so much to the performance of the player. So I think, honestly, they have tried their best to adapt to the demands of the level where they are. And I think looking at the team they were playing against, honestly, last year, this is the team that dominated the tournament. I think they lost in the semi-final or so. So we are here competing against a very, very formidable team. And I think we have done our best in terms of making sure that we try and play the way we want. It's just unfortunate that goals were not coming. But I think we know what to work on.
Coach, just looking ahead, you're going to face a Zambia team that's got no point and they'll probably be fighting for their lives. How much of an effect will it play in the match?
I think it's a match like this match. It's a match which will say the expectations are the same. You go to the match looking for 3 points and go into a match that you know that obviously, emotionally, you need to try and help your players to understand that they are not going to win the match because they have more energy than the opponent. But if we can think and be patient, then we can do well. But honestly, we are facing another difficult team. Honestly, I would have wanted us to collect points here and go to the next match because if you can see, the ground also, I think, did not do us a favor because I think it was a bit heavy. And now you have just a day to prepare for the next match. But unfortunately, we have to do what we can to make sure that we get the positive results.
Coach, let's take this time to thank you very much for your time and all the best for the remainder of the tournament.